Welcome to the ADHD, MANIC, Bipolar, Schizophrenic, Delusional, and everything in between podcast. I hope you enjoy the ride. Don't forget to buckle up and put your hands in, for they may be eaten up by all the lot lizards in this parking lot. Well, how do I turn this thing off, Jackson? It keeps recording. No, thank you. I don't want any pussy tonight. Thank you. Welcome to the ADHD, MANIC, Bipolar, Schizophrenic, Delusional, and everything in between podcast. I hope you enjoy the ride. Don't forget to buckle up and put your hands in, for they may be eaten up by all the lot lizards in this parking lot.
What I'm going to tell you is I feel like I'm being guided. Your dad once gave me a patriarchal blessing a long time ago. Or no, it was a blessing before I went into the hospital. And he told me these things. I've never told anybody. You probably already know this. Do not bring disgrace to your family's name. Okay? That was the first thing. He said, you walked and talked with the Lord. You were very, very close to the Lord. Maybe they say that to everybody, but I really feel that I was in tune with either him or the Holy Ghost or whatever energy that was guiding me. Because whatever I asked for it helped me. I was really close. Maybe the veil had already not been lifted, and I just was seeing things I shouldn't have been seeing, or I'm just crazy. I don't know. But let's get on. And then he said, by the age of 31, you will be a bishop, and then by shortly after 5 or 6 years after that, you will be a stake president. Now, I don't know. I think if I recall, he said the same thing to you, or was it Keith? And that's okay. It's a nice high hope. And if it was coming from God or whatever, I'm sure that if we were all righteous, we would have gotten there to be a bishop, because it seems like they're lacking of. They're keeping bishopries all a little bit longer than they should, because there's a lot of nasty men in the wards that are doing nasty things, and bishops should not be doing nasty things. And it's a hard job. They don't really get paid for it. I don't want to hear everybody's problems, you know? And I don't want to have to go to, I don't know. That oil that they put on the people's, could you just, why put oil on an oil head? It just makes it oilier. I don't want to look like I just got off work at McDonald's and I was working the fryer for the fries all night. I mean, it's bad enough that they don't shower, let alone that you could take a fucking knife and scrape up so much grease that you could probably fry up a fucking another roast. You know what I'm saying, Daddy? Okay, I don't want to sidetrack. I'm going to start this over again. Okay, so we're going to clip that. Today's podcast is on how to be the most you can be by yourself. And I know that's kind of sharp and it sounds kind of weird, but this is what I'm going to tell you. I remember when you and Cynthia got together. I called you up, you put me on speakerphone. The first time I had any interaction with her, she seemed really sweet. She's very pretty, got pretty eyes. I'm like, damn, man, that boy got lucky. I didn't know that you guys had been previously together off and on, which is kind of, okay, you had to be sure this time. I really feel that there's something fogging your perception. It's not because you're not perceptive. It just means that you are not aware, because there's so many things that you need in your life because of your unsuccessful love of yourself. Because when you love yourself, you don't need much more. You need people around you, but you don't need them in a sense of as a daily supplement or well, you don't need anybody. If they're there, that's great. They're adding to the party, but you don't need to have them there for your security. You don't need that. But when you are depressed inside and not loving who you are, what happens is is that we take less adequate things that we feel that we are worthy of having when we're not striving for the best. Okay. Adam, why did it take you so long to take that masterpiece of yours to the symphony? You should have done it 25 years ago, even sooner than that, because you didn't feel that you were worthy enough to be that good. And when she told you finally that you were the best thing that she's seen in 70 years and you questioned her on it, well, you haven't been alive for 70 years. Adam, I've studied people, composers or whatever, for a long time. I know what's out there, and you're one of the best. It's important for people to know. It's important for you to know that people think that you are wonderful because it makes you feel good because you don't, Adam, believe it yourself. You really don't. When I told you that what you have done for me, told you if it wasn't for you, I don't know where I'd be. I would have eventually, hopefully, found my way. I don't know what state it would have been in. Was you were the one. The girls didn't do it. You did it. You stopped everything that you did to come and get me. That's what a true family does. When I told you this, you were about to cry because you didn't think that I could love somebody and you were worthy of any kind of love or any kind of thanks because you don't think of yourself as being worthy. And I think it's stemmed down for a long, long period of time. I think that you always felt shy of Keith's shadow, even though you played the piano like a motherfucker and all he did was act like he was in G-Force and, he was in sports. But your mom clearly, she loves you, Adam. I mean, she loved Keith. It was very clear to me. It's like, oh no, he eats first and then everybody eats after him. So everybody wait. He's gonna eat his dinner and then we're gonna all wait. And if there's anything left, then we'll have dinner. And, I mean, seriously, you played that piano like a fucking rock star at age 8. Come on, you were a genius. You're a protege, but yet you still could not get your approval from your mother. You always felt shy, and I think that has been a long stem. And your mother, after to this day, I think when he died, she was so wrecked, depressed, just celebrating his life. It was like, I just want to die, and I get that, It's good. It's okay to mourn, but not for 25 years. She brought that family down of yours. I feel that she brought that family down. It was never an upper day because she lost the only thing that meant anything in this life to her. And that's really sad because I can see where she's not doing it now to you. And you've made mistakes, but you don't feel like you've got your mother's approval or your father's or your family's. Because, and nothing you do is going to make them even better. You're making great money. You're doing this. You're in a marriage and you're trying. Nothing is good enough. You know why? Because it's not good enough for you. If you truly love yourself, you don't need to be loved by anybody else but yourself. The love that you can feel from other people is a welcome, and it's an addition to your life. It's a feeling that's great to have. Sex is great when you love somebody, but sex isn't the only thing. I, I get enjoyment out of cooking an amazing meal and eating it. I get enjoyment by just picking up my dog and holding her so close. The energy that she has, that she gives to me, like, I wasn't happy for the longest time. I didn't like myself. That's why I kept trying to kill myself, trying to put drugs in my body to make me a weak because I didn't feel that I was worth anything because I was adopted. Same kind of thing that kind of you were going through in a different way. I felt sorry for myself. I thought they left me, and then they put me in a family that I had nothing in common. And now, later on, they don't even love me. They want me to be homeless. My brother he's never wished me happy birthday until this month. Now, why is that? Is it something that I've done? Because I didn't love myself. If I don't love myself, I'm not going to reach out. I don't want to see their kids. I don't want to call them on Christmas or on Easter. I don't want to call them on their birthdays. I don't want nothing to do with them because I didn't like myself enough to care about them. That's what it boils down to. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have kids because I'm glad I didn't have kids because I would have been a terrible parent at that time. I would have had to grow up and try to fake. And I would have made a lot of mistakes. And I'm not saying parents don't, but I'm so glad that I had to go through what I went through. So next life I won't have to go through this because I've conquered it. I won't have to ever have a low score on my credit because next life I'm going to own the credit agencies. Because seriously, I mean, I will never have to touch drugs again because I already know what it feels like. Even though it feels good, I don't need the drug to make me a better person because I'm already that person. And when things start lining up and you start feeling that way, then all of a sudden everything in your life is wonderful that surrounds you. Your credit score, your energy, your attitude, your lover, your family, and that's exactly what's happening right now. And I'm not even asking for it. It's happening around me because probably for the last couple of months, I love myself. I love it. I don't like my belly. I think I'm a little overweight, but I'd rather be overweight than be doing drugs and spun out and going through dumpsters when I didn't love myself. Or begging for money so I had to pay another month rent. Or walking the streets with my dog in negative 20-degree weather because I didn't know where to go. I didn't love myself, but I knew I wanted to change, and so I started to make that change, and that was breaking away from California and making the journey. All I'm telling for you is that hopefully your journey won't be extravagant as mine was and then devastating, but that's what I had to go through because I'm hardcore. But Adam, goddammit, you are a leader. You are a strong individual that is empathetic. Excuse me, sympathetic. Not empathetic. That was a word. That loves people. That wants to help people. Okay, that wants to be a part of people's lives and wants to help and wants to be generous and wants to love, wants to show friendship, wants to take care of people, wants to be stable and have balance in his life. And the only way to do that is take care of yourself first. Once you do that, then you can take care of everybody else. But if you take care of everybody else first, there's holes in your platform. There's holes in your foundation. When you looked at Cynthia and saw Cynthia, and maybe this new girlfriend, you walk into a garden of statues, beautiful women, beautiful men. I just said that just in case, you can look at a man and go, wow, that's a nice looking man. But this lady's a lot more nicer. And you see how beautiful they're carved out. And you know that it wasn't so beautiful before because to get to that stone, they had to look at something, and that was their evil energy, the hatred that they had for themselves. It was their Medusa. It froze them in time. It was too late because it overwhelmed their body, and they that fear of looking in a mirror or looking at themselves was something that they didn't want to see, and that was Medusa. I know that was a pretty good analogy, huh? Yeah, I think so. So what I'm trying to say to you is don't get to that point. You can look at that statue later on and go, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. But was she? Because you needed that beauty in your life. You took that statue home and then you started looking at it more closely and you realized it was made on a really bad foundation inside. It's got cracks. It wasn't made with the best cement. This thing's going to crumble within years. This should last for a lifetime. Because at the time you looked at it, you didn't see anything else but that beauty and what you needed. You needed that at your house, in your life, instead of really knowing and seeing what you needed and if it was going to be right for you. Don't be that Medusa. Don't look in that mirror and have that mirror tell you things that are bad and wrong about you because we have a tendency to do that. We're our worst critics. We are the ones that tell us that we're failures. We're the ones that tell us that we can't do it. And if we do it, we're going to fail. We're the ones that tell you that the people don't like you. That person that's walking by you doesn't look like they like you. Who cares? As long as you like yourself, then that joy that comes out of you will be joy that comes out of everybody. You have to love yourself. You need to take time off. If she's listening right now, nothing personal. I'm sure you're a Greek goddess named Thea, and you might be the one for him. You might not. We don't know. But if you don't give him this chance, young lady, to let him be himself, and I know that it sounds, oh, well, no, he knows himself. Oh, no, he loves himself. No, he doesn't. Most people don't. But if you want to have a successful marriage and you want unconditional love, not just infatuation or sexual whatever cravings or whatever you want to call it, if you really think that you want that unconditional eternal love, he's got to spend that time with himself. And it may be 1 month, it may be 2 months, but he's got a challenge, and he knows he's got to do this challenge if he wants to survive this obstacle that could be detrimental in his life. Because when you love yourself, you're not going to work yourself to death to be and have a heart attack, because you work yourself to death to prove to yourself that you are worthy of having that job and worthy of having your success. When you love yourself, you know that you've earned it. You don't need to prove it. Things are stable. When you love yourself, you love your life. Instead of trying to kill yourself, you're trying to live your life as best as you can. Time is running out on all of us. We don't need something speeding us up like that witch fucking cartoon thing that she turned over in The Wizard of Oz. Because believe me, we all have them. Mine's put away. I took the sand out. I made a sand castle. And I think that one of the dogs peed on it. Anyway, regardless, that was really bad. I want you to be like Josh Groban. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I look in that mirror every night and day. I see this person that I love in every way. Even though it's hard, sometimes I cry inside for the man that I should have been, for the mistakes that I have done and caused, for people that I've hurt. But know this: you are made of much better than of much worse. You are a soul to be reckoned with. Now act like it. And to act like it, you have to regain your superpower. And that is to be super S. That's super single. You're going to be that superhero with the S on it. And that means that no single white female will come in your way while you're in this program. And no single line up in a single row, because you don't line up in a single row because you are the row. Okay. And no single white-handed, blooded American will ever get in your way, because you are going to get a gun and you're going to be a Trump supporter and you're going to be a Q like leader. I know it. I just know it. You're going to be the instrument that leads the revolution to the underground, where we will fight the Terminators. And you can't do all this unless you love yourself. You can't create a musical with me until you love yourself. Because I want 100%, 110% of Adam. Nothing more, nothing less. And you got to promise me that if you conquer this, which you will, I get to see your butt for 10 minutes and have you stand in front of me and let me just look at it in all of its glory. Know that you are worth everything that you have received in your life, whether it be good or bad. Because the good things we cherish, but the bad things we don't haunt us. We learn and we grow from them. Instead of beating us up that say, hey, you know what? I made a mistake. So what? I'm going to be better at it. Everybody makes mistakes. It's how you deal with those mistakes. Everybody needs to be loved. You may say, I need to be loved. You know why I need to be loved? I need to be loved by myself. When I love myself, I'm not so concerned about who loves me. I'm more concerned about who I love. Does that make any sense? Because you don't need things so much when you already have taken care of yourself. So you're able to give more of yourself to other people that need it and teach them. But when you go around saying that this is the person I need in my life, this is the one thing that I need that's going to help me. Wait a second, slow down. You're listening to what you're saying. Yeah, that may be true, but that's unhealthy. Because if you were strong and saying, you know what? We are great together. We are both what we need in our lives. We are independent. We are our own individual. And when we come together, it's like fucking fireworks. Sex is amazing. But I don't need her next to me for me to feel happiness. I need myself next to me for me to be whole and she is the part that fits that mold. But I don't need her. I choose to have her in my life, and she is a addition and a wonderful addition in my life. But let her be that, because you don't want to fall the same mistake you did with Cynthia. And I just had this feeling that that whole thing was always there. It was always there. You were just mesmerized by the energy, and you needed that in your life to feel like alive. And once the season of America's Got Talent was over, all that glitz and everything just kind of faded, and it was just you and her. No more show. And you're like, wait a second, I didn't know that you wore your pants like that. I don't like that. Don't wear them like that no more. What are you talking about? I've been doing this the whole time. Oh wait, you wear like purple nail polish? I hate purple, honey. I had this on when we got married. I didn't see that. Yeah, we had a purple cake, for God's sakes. Oh my, I hate purple. Why do we have a see the things that you don't see is because you don't want to see. But when you actually see them, you're like, what the fuck is going on? But when you love yourself, it doesn't matter if it's a purple cake. Well, yeah, we can have a purple cake. It's okay. Yeah, wear your pants like that. Because it makes her feel good because she likes it, not because you don't. Okay? I know I'm preaching. I know that someday I might be a famous podcaster. And, when I can, I'm channeling right now Chevy Chase's or his mother, grandmother. Who knew that she was a witch from Gulandisa, which is another by the Milky Way. It's another planet that's in the Alpha Centauri whatever flat Earth region. And she came to me and she said, "I have a Ouija board, and it's got the name Adam." And I'm like, "Adam? No." He said, "You're dumb." I'm like, "Oh, I'm dumb. I thought you said my friend Adam." She goes, "No, Adam from Adam and the ants came down and said there's an Adam on Earth that needs your help." And he's a recruiter from a rebooter, and he used to live with Cynthia, and now he's with a beautiful statue. Medusa got to her too soon, and guess what? He needs help. So go down to him. Don't tell him about the Ouija board because he don't believe, but tell him that his mother, Joan Bennett, had a secret one. When they were all in school, she would talk to Keith on the Ouija board. Don't tell him that though, because it really wasn't. It was her. She was moving the Ouija because she's what she wanted to believe. They were there, but they just watched. Keith was there. He just watched. Acting like he was Mark from the G-Force. He was quiet like a bird. While his mom asked questions of, "Are you in heaven?" "Yes, Mom." "Do you still like soccer?" "Yes, Mom." "Did you see fish when you were in ocean?" "No, Mom, I saw octopus." "Yes, it talked to me." "Oh, really? Are you happy?" "Yes, Mom." But it still didn't help Joan feel better. The Ouija board, tarot cards, many trips to the bishop. The only thing that made her feel better was putting her other kids down because it made him more of a angel. And that was wrong. And I'm sorry for that, Adam. And I may be totally out of park on this, but I don't think so. I know your mom's really a strong woman. And I think that your dad, how do you wear the pants? But your mom did. And your mom and dad supported everything she did. He was pussy whipped. And he suggested in calm voices, but yet she's the one that knows best, even though he has a degree. Isn't that awesome? So anyway, in light of the Kennedys and the Queen and Markle and all that bullshit, next time you see a princess, okay, like anywhere, think of Diana and think about what the Queen did to her. She had her murdered because the Queen didn't like herself either. Yeah, she had all the money in the world, but she wasn't happy. You know why? Because she couldn't go. She just couldn't go anywhere. She was like a loser, an abuser, and she just had to hit the user. And she wanted to do drugs and she couldn't. And she wanted to like go to a tree and go on a swing and eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and play with dolls, but she couldn't because she was the queen. She wanted to have like crazy sex in the park, but she couldn't because she was the queen. Leave it to her brother that went on Epstein Island, and had sex with like 12-year-olds. The queen came back and said, "You had sex with a 12-year-old? What was it like?" And he said, "Well, mom, it was nice. It wasn't my 12-year-old, but you know what? It was really nice." She goes, "Are you sick?" She goes, "Really? Well, don't tell anybody, but I had sex with my grandkid, the redhead. I always wanted to see a fire crotch, and I got to see it." I'm like, "Really, Grandma? Come on, really?" And that's why she killed the queen, because the queen walked in on her having sex with Prince um, Markle and what's his name, redhead kid, and Diana was going to expose her and take the kingdom. Oh no, you don't! Made a phone call. TMZ, paparazzi, follow her to her death. And that's exactly what they did. They made her tires flat, she rolled, and she died with her lover. That's why the prince separated himself from the kingdom, because he was gangbanged by the queen. That's why he got the most expensive castle out of all of them, because he was gangbanged by the queen. Until this day, she goes to her grave talking about fire crotch and what it meant to her to have that in her mouth. Amen. Have a wonderful day.